All right, so welcome to the Skin Boss panel virtually. Of course, if you're viewing this, you are on YouTube with us, checking this out. And I'm so excited to have a very brief moment with Zoe McDowell. Zoe, we're so excited to have you on for Skin Boss panel. Are you ready for all the questions?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. I was just telling Zoe viewers before we hopped on here and started recording it that she is like the go-to esthetician in Lexington, South Carolina. Everybody is recommending her. So I'm going to have to now come get a facial with Zoe, and that's what it is. So, and I may have run into your coworker last night at dinner, but we'll talk about that later. Maybe a current coworker. All right. So first question, because this is all about you, is what is your current role, Zoe, and how did you get started in the industry?
I am the owner of Girl Find Your Glow, and I actually have my master's degree in social work, and I did that for 14 years. And then when COVID hit, things got hectic. I quit my job to stay home with my son, who was 3 at that time. And my husband actually was his idea. He's like, why don't you go do something that you love? And I've always been into like skincare and makeup and all that kind of stuff. And so it was his idea to become an esthetician. So I was like, okay. So I went back to school in July of 2020, and the rest is history.
Absolutely. And we're just so proud of you. And I love having our little friendship and relationship outside of all of that. But you're amazing. And we're so proud of you. That's exciting. Next question, because this is an interview. What inspires you most, Zoe? And then what advice would you give to upcoming estheticians and skin bosses? So that's kind of like 2 questions. So first of all, what inspires you? And then what advice would you give to future professionals?
I think what inspires me the most is really just living to your full potential. I read a book called Untamed. Have you read Untamed?
No, but I need to.
I have to read it like tonight. It is so good. And it's like changed my life basically. And so it really inspires me. Basically, it's saying that we all have this like potential to be more, but we really limit ourselves, and society limits ourselves, and we put all these restraints on ourselves, but really we're these like amazing people with like limitless potential. And so that really inspires me the most. And I think advice for upcoming skin bosses is really believing in yourself. I mean, I remember sitting in class with you, and you were talking about how you should own your own business and all this kind of stuff. And I thought that was crazy. I was like, there's no way I'm going to do that. Like, I'm going to fail, or, that's crazy. And then I had an opportunity to booth rent right out of school, and I was like, well, okay, I guess I'm going to do this. And so I started part-time, and that, led to other opportunities. And so I think just believing in yourself and your potential and not holding yourself back is the biggest thing.
I love that. And off of this is completely away from my question list, but I mean, of course, you said the book, which sounds amazing. But was there, I mean, you might not know this, but was there a defining moment that made you think, I can totally open a business and do this? Or you just jumped in head first?
I jumped in. Now I feel more so like I could answer that question, because I am going to be opening up my own freestanding business, and I feel scared but excited and everything. But no, I totally jumped in, and I was like, well, hopefully this goes well, and it really did.
Sometimes that's what it takes. And I can totally relate to that. That's an amazing piece of advice. Sometimes you have to, and then just figure it out from there,
Yeah.
make smart decisions, but, continue on.
Right.
All right. So next question for you. What are some of the challenges you face? Because of course, we always try to educate people on the good, but there's always challenges, right? What are some of the challenges you face in a day or a week in your career?
I think never knowing like how much you're going to make is a challenge in terms of preparing for that, budgeting for that, buying products and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you could have a $50 day, and then the next day could be a $1,400 day or more. And so I think it totally depends. And so kind of preparing yourself for that. And I know like I've heard that the months that start with J are slow. So January, June, and July, because everyone's on vacation and recovering from the holidays and stuff like that. So I think preparing for the J months is important.
That's awesome. I love that. I love that. So yeah, you always have to be flexible,
Mhm.
The next one, let's see here. Give an instance where you went above and beyond with a client and how this paid off for you.
I always talk about, I guess I'm not scared to talk about what I think they should do. So someone would come in for a brow wax and I might say, like, I don't mean to interject, but like, you really could benefit from, this certain type of facial, or have you heard of microchanneling before, and things like that. I think my biggest goal is to help every client who comes in to figure out, how we can help them in the biggest way. And maybe they just had time for a brow wax, but really they'd be interested in something else. So taking time for care planning and talking to every single person. I mean, I have upsold crazy services before. They've just come in for something simple and end up leaving with like a whole package or something for microchanneling and things like that. So I think it's always important to talk about the opportunity and don't assume they're going to say no, or don't assume it's too expensive, and don't shop their pockets, because you'd be so surprised who's the one spending the money and who don't blink an eye. I mean, I literally have a client who, and I don't mean to stereotype, but just as an example, like, she's a school bus driver.
Wow.
And her husband, I believe, is a janitor or something like that, but they are like really good with their money, or whatever the case may be, because she's always like going on cruises, going on vacations, taking care of herself and buying the biggest facials and all this kind of stuff. But if someone were to like assume, well, oh, she's just a school bus driver, they're going to limit. So
I love that. That's what my mother always said, was to never assume what someone can afford. I love that you held on to that. That's amazing. That's amazing. And this is this is away from our question list, but Zoe, I know you are so amazing at micro channeling, and I know lash extensions is another one for you. What is your favorite service to perform, and why do you feel like you've niched yourself like this and just done so well? This is me asking you. I'm
yeah.
so amazed. I'm so amazed.
I'm obsessed with microchanneling so much. I mean, the science is there. The science is so cool. And I personally, it saved my face essentially. So I don't know if you saw my before and afters. I can email them to you if you haven't, but I had really, really bad melasma that just like covered my entire face. And with the help of like 2 skincare products and just microchanneling, I've never done laser. I've never done anything else like that. I've just done microchanneling. It completely fixed my face. And it was a really big sense of insecurity for me. And so that was huge. And so I know I can help so many people. And now I'm really excited because ProCell has come up with a hair restoration line with a new serum. And so now I'm able to help folks who have thinning hair for whatever reason. One of my best friends has alopecia, and so we're doing her, and just to see the progress and like see how it works and like see the clients excited. It's just so exciting. And so I've just like completely thrown all my ducks into that pond with micro channeling. And I love lashes too. I do a more like natural look, and I think there's a need for that. There's like not a lot of lash techs in Lexington that are good. It's crazy. Like, you'd think there would be, but there's not.
I know it. I just
So
all day with you. That's all it is.
just saw the need for it, and figured out how to do better. And I think that my biggest thing with lash extension too is, for anyone listening, like, do all the education you possibly can. I took a class after graduating school with this lady I found on Instagram who's just such a genius, Amber Lash Artistry. You can follow her on Instagram. But I took her retention class, and it was so interesting. It talks all about humidity, it talks about temperature, it talks about all these things that are so like easy. Like, so if your lashes aren't sticking, it's humidity. And the glue can't get sticky enough to actually stick to the lashes. So there's so many tiny things you can adjust that's going to completely change your game and give you great retention. So some of those things I've just looked into, and I'm have good success with that.
That's a big deal. You're right about that. I just taught lashes this morning, but yeah, stuff like that, retention, that's huge. That is amazing. That's amazing. I love that. Okay, let's see here. Next question. All right. Explain a time in which you experienced a difficult client. You may not have had any, but a difficult client or circumstance, and how you overcame it.
Oh, I have had plenty of difficult clients, and they will too. So I had this one client. She seemed totally quote unquote normal when she came in, but turns out she was like completely neurotic and insane. But Always fill out your paperwork. So first of all, I have consent paperwork for everything, and it's really important for them to sign it. I go over everything with them. She was coming in for a lash lift and tint. And this was on me as a new esthetician. This happened last year. I shouldn't have done it personally, because she signed the whole thing. She said she understood that it can cause irritation, it can cause some things like that, but she had told me that she did it once before and she's really allergic to she was allergic to the dye or something, but she just stung a little bit, but this time she's gonna be prepared for it. She knows she's not gonna like go blind, and she wants to go forward with it. So looking back now, I probably wouldn't have done it now, kind of thing, but I did it. Well, turns out she left. She was so happy. She even gave me a tip. Everything was great. And then she like calls. So I booth rent in a salon, but it's not, I'm my own boss. I just, she's my landlord. So she ended up calling her and trying to make a whole big deal about, oh, she didn't explain the procedure to me. I had this allergic reaction. Like, I want all my money back, like blah, blah, blah. And I would have gladly given it back to her, but she never contacted me. She just tried to give me a bad name or try to badmouth me. And so my landlord went and she's like, can I look at your paperwork, just a screenshot, and show her, look, you signed this paperwork, you said you understood, all this kind of stuff. And it was just a mess. Turns out she gave me a fake name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because apparently she's like does this, and she's like known in the community for being really difficult in hair salons and things like that. So she was trying to say her friend initially that's right, her friend contacted the landlord and was just like, my sister came to you and she's really unhappy. Well, it's not her sister. She gave the wrong name, and we can't find this person in my books. And then I just know from the context who this person was. It was a complete mess. She was like cuckoo. So always like make sure that your bases are covered, that you have your paperwork, that you explain things and everything, because people will try to do anything. I don't even know what her motive was, because she was happy with the service. I have no clue. It was so bizarre. So just cover your butt.
Absolutely. Golly, I could go on and on about stuff like that, but I'm glad you recovered from that and continued on, and you're amazing and very heavily recommended. So I would say you're doing a great job.
Well, thanks.
Yes. Okay. And then my final little question before we jump into our little game: what inspires you to be consistent as a skin boss? And I'll tell you why I asked that question. Some of my core values as a business owner and teacher and just a person, I'm trying to more communicate this year. And number one is consistency. Number two being intentional. And then the third, gosh, I can't remember it. I put this on a whole bulletin board, but anyway, consistency is huge. And I feel like that's what really hinders professionals in our industry from being amazing. That might be amazing on Monday, Zoe, but then they're not going to be amazing the rest of the days of the week. And that really hinders their success. What inspires you to be consistent?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think I have protocols for all my services, and I think just following them is really what makes you successful, because you could be feeling tired. You could feel like, I don't really feel like doing the arm massage today, but maybe that's exactly what that person came for. So you never know. And I know, like, I've gone to get facials before and they've skipped a certain thing that was my favorite part. And I'm like, really, I'm kind of bummed out about that. So I think just, personally experiencing that, just knowing that it's really important to stay consistent, and you never know like what their favorite part of the service is. So I think just consistently providing, what you say you're going to provide and stick to the protocols is what inspires me just to continue. Because then I have rebook rates. I always love to look back and see how many returning clients. I think last month I had 38 returning clients.
That's
and
incredible.
20 new clients. So it's kind of fun to look back and see, who's coming back for services and who's rebooking and things like that. So that's what kind of motivates me to stay consistent.
And then off to the side, Zoe, I mean, and to me too, I mean, protocols are one thing, but you obviously are consistent in your education, your attitude, being kind of confident in the treatment room. I mean, those are some things that must make you super successful. And that's probably what people are coming to see you for, if I were to make a wild guess. So that's amazing. Good for
Yeah.
you. Okay. You ready for a game?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna play this game, and sometimes we'll do this on the stage at the school and do it with a couple of other people. So you have a cat like I have a cat, okay?
Yeah, she's in my
And
business.
yeah, mine is probably pissed that she's not in here right now. So, all right, game, here we go. So this is called Fast Questions, and it's a skincare game. So really quick, you need to let me know, number one, what are your favorite skincare lines? It could be one, it could be multiple. What do you love? Tell us.
Well, I love Courtney Sykes, anti-aging. I
You
use.
don't have to say that, by the way, but
I
thank you.
really did. I really did. I saw I use my treatment room for my back bar, so I really love that. But I also love Lime Life by Alcone. They're natural skincare, and they're really good.
That's amazing. Awesome, awesome. I like that. Number two, what is your favorite skincare ingredients? Tell us.
Marula oil is
Someone
like.
else said that, and I can't tell you if I've ever used that, to be quite honest with you. What product do you love that has that in it?
So Lime Life Falcon has something called the Midnight Oil Collection, and it's just absolutely incredible. It's so hydrating. It has it's so rich of antioxidants and extremely, extremely hydrating. So they have an oil cleanser, which is really nice on your skin because you just apply the oil and all the dirt and makeup just falls right off your face. You don't have to rub and agitate your skin, especially if you have dry skin. So the oil cleanser is really amazing, and it is marula oil. And then they have a nighttime serum that's 100% marula oil, and it's the only ingredient. It's just so rich in antioxidants and extremely hydrating and great for all skin. It actually even helps acne because oil needs oil, so it's a great product.
Well, I'm gonna have to buy that from you, so let me know. I've literally heard that from more than one of our skin bosses, so I've got to try it.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Favorite modality or aesthetics treatment? I think I might know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Microneedling.
Yes, yes, that is true. And I knew you were going to say that one. Okay. Next one, must-have skincare products. Choose three. What are your must-have favorites?
Ooh, so I use this one product called One Drop Wonder, which is straight cold pressed palmifera oil, which is extremely rich in antioxidants, which is my second favorite ingredient. And then I use another called Sotox, which rhymes with Botox, which lightens, tightens, and brightens the skin. And it has Sanju mushroom extract in it, which is used in the Asian cultures. And so it really helps to tighten the skin. And then I love your vitamin C serum.
Oh, well, good. That's amazing. What do you use? Just this is a random question off to the side to microchannel into the skin. What do you microchannel into the skin for all of our viewers? What do you love the most?
So I use a couple different things. I was using your stem cell serum until it went out of stock. I don't know, is it back yet?
I'll ask Noah in our inventory room. Holy cow. If I could get our lab to work faster, that'd be fabulous. So yeah, what are you doing in the meantime?
So in the meantime, I had to start using the ProCell serum.
Yeah.
Their stuff, which is great because they have human growth factor stem cells that are from healthy adult donors and everything like that, but the body really responds well to that. It's bioidentical to the skin when we put it in. So I have been using their stem cell serum.
Yeah, I love growth factors. That's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, two more questions on fast questions. What is your favorite quote? If you have one, tell us.
Know with whom you're dealing.
Oh, okay. Well, this goes away from fast questions. Why do you like that quote? Tell us.
Because you might have a really difficult client, but if they're difficult, you know how to approach it, and it's not a big deal. You don't have to get worked up about it. You just know with whom you're dealing. If in life too, if you just know, okay, this person does this or this person does that, you can be prepared for it. You're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be blindsided, and you can kind of react accordingly. So I think it works in personal and professional life. If you just know with whom you're dealing. Obviously, the first time it happens, you're not going to know, but the next time you will.
Absolutely. Yeah. Knowing your audience and how to respond. That's perfect. Last final question. Your favorite hustlers in the business. Is there anybody that's an esthetician somewhere that you're like, oh my God, I love them? Tell us.
I mean, honestly, I have the biggest crush on you. And I'm not just saying that, but you're just, and now you're writing a book. I'm just like, what else is she going to do? This is incredible. So
you could see my desk right now. I'm telling you.
You're my favorite hustler.
Well, you're sweet, but is there anybody else that that you are drawn to?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. There's that girl Amber Lash Artistry. I follow her and she's really good. She's in Florida, I think. So she's neat, but I haven't really gotten gotten into too many others yet.
Well, you're going to be everybody's favorite skin boss and someone that is their mentor and they want to be just like Zoe. That's amazing. Is there any final thoughts you want to share with the audience and anything to inspire anybody?
I think just, you know, find something that you love and just do it up, learn as much as you possibly can about it, become like a super nerd and geek about it. Like, you know, I know some random fun facts about red light therapy and how it, you know, penetrates the ATP energy inside the, you know, mitochondria of the cell, and your clients love to hear stuff like that. So just geek out, find something you love and do it.
I love that. So to end this, for those of you listening, what she just said is she focuses in on education, science, making sure your clients really see you as the expert. And that is the most important thing. Always make sure communication is key and you will always be successful. So Zoe, we love you so much. Thank you so much for being on our Skin Boss panel today. And you will be on our YouTube channel very soon. All right. So we're going to go ahead and break now. And audience, we'll see you for the next one.
All right, bye.